playing? Not playing at all. Why is he there? It makes no sense.
And NBA predictions.
I got Brooklyn going up against the Lakers.
And who do you got?
And the Brooklyn Nets winning the championship.
Let's go.
Okay.
I think that Kyrie is box office. He's just a showstopper. I think that Harden is going to be in shape this year because he's where he wants to be instead of trying to push himself out of Houston. That's the only reason he was out of shape, y'all. He didn't want to go out of Houston, and Tillman, Fertitta, and those guys said, no, you're not leaving. And so Harden said, okay. And he came in out of shape and just show he didn't want to be there. And that ended up hurting him because that hamstring injury that he suffered late on in the season, that lasted a bit longer than anybody anticipated. But I think he'll be ready. And when he's ready, he's good for 25 to 30 a night because the brother's just unstoppable. And Kevin Durant is the best player in the world.
All right, so Ember, you with the Nets this season
in the
then?
world. And the Lakers, LeBron knows what he's doing. We know how big time LeBron is with Anthony Davis, with
Russell. How does that work with Russell? Because Russell needs the ball.
I think I understand that. He says he'll be fine. LeBron says he'll be fine. What I will tell you is this. LeBron 69%, Russell Westbrook 65% last year from the free throw line. LeBron James hasn't shot 70% from the free throw line in the last 3 years. Free throws matter, bro. And Kyrie, James Harden, and Kevin Durant don't miss them. And so for me, especially with Golden State coming, Klay Thompson's going to be back. Steph Curry's there. I like Wiseman. Draymond's there. Who knows? They might trade for Ben Simmons in Philadelphia. We don't know what they're going to do. And I just look at Brooklyn and L.A. The Clippers on the outside looking in. If Kawhi is healthy, they give the Lakers a run for their money. Utah and Denver can't be ignored. But I just look at Brooklyn, and I'm just saying that's what it's going to take to stop the Lakers. And I think that, and I don't think anybody can stop Brooklyn. They're just too much of a juggernaut, bro. They can give up 120 and laugh at you because they'll score 130. It's just they are unstoppable.
Well, last statement, because I know you got to go. Speaking of the NBA, I feel like you were very instrumental in all of these black coaches getting hired in the NBA. And the reason I say that, because you were the person on First Take having these conversations, telling people why aren't the players stepping up, saying where are the black coaches. I didn't see anybody else raising hell about that situation other than you.
I appreciate that because I meant it. And black executives are next. Just take this into consideration for a second. There were 9 executives last year in the NBA who happened to be black. And the one executive with the power of final say wasn't even an African American.
Dang.
It was Masai Ujiri in Toronto.
Toronto, yeah.
He wasn't an African American, and he wasn't the GM in America. It was Toronto.
Damn.
I mean, think about that.
Damn.
In the year 2020, that's what it was. And so that's just a damn shame. And so for me, listen, you got a lot of white executives that are very good and very gifted at what they do, but what we don't pay enough attention to is analytics. And the reason why I bring up analytics have always been a part of basketball. But here's the brilliant hoodwink job that has been done. So you had these white dudes that were big on analytics. And what they did was they partnered with guys at MIT. And they create these analytics and where numbers are telling you the story. And when I say telling you the story, I'm not going to mention their name because I don't want to put them on Front Street like that. But I will tell you this. There was one executive that went up to an owner after losing a playoff game and literally said to the owner, quote, "You see, we really, really won. Look at these numbers. We had the plus minus here, and we did this here, and all this other stuff." He said, "We really, really won. If we had just not made that mistake, it would show." It I was like, "I don't give a damn about it. We lost the game. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, right?" But that's what they do. And so for me, where I take, where I'm offended by analytics, I listen to analytics to some degree myself. But I also look at the eye test, and I also watch and understand covering the league the way I do. I understand as a beat writer covering the league for years before I became a columnist and then I got on television. I saw dudes that had a problem with their girl or had a problem with their wife or their mom was ill or something like that, and that affected their game that night. The analytics ain't telling you that.
Right.
Numbers are not telling you that. There's a human element that comes into play. Or one dude was in the elevator against another player, and the player went like this. "You know what? I heard you was talking smack about me. I'm going to whip your ass after the game." And the dude showed up on the court and was petrified. and scared out of his mind and had like 2 points and 2 rebounds. Coach didn't know what the hell was wrong with him. But he was scared about getting his ass kicked when the game was over. You see, it's stuff like that analytics don't tell you. And so when you depend solely on analytics, I got a problem with that. And more importantly than that, ain't no black folks involved in these analytics.
That's right.
They know it to some degree, but they're not the ones coming from MIT. They're not the ones that are entrenched in it to a point where you go to an owner and you speak the owner's language, because the owner may not know ball, but he knows numbers. And when you bring him numbers that make sense out of it and show him how you can save him money, that makes you attractive. So he hires you, and then you hire your dudes. They're all analytics dudes, and then none of them look like us. And so somebody had to call them out. Somebody had to say, listen, this is affecting the coaches that are being hired. This is affecting the general managers that are being hired. You know what I'm saying? And we need more minority ownership than just Michael Jordan. And so to me, that's why I took it upon myself to attack the issue the way that I attacked it, because I'm not going to lie to you. Again, there's the use for analytics, and I don't disrespect the dudes that focus a lot on analytics. I respect them, and I respect their knowledge. But did I think that it was somewhat racist? You damn right I did. And that's why I said something about it, and that's why I'm going to continue to say. Marcus Spears tomorrow, Dan Orlovsky Thursday, Tim Tebow Friday, plus Ryan Clark, Damian Woody, and all of that other stuff. And
Big perk.
And the big thing for me, let me be very, very clear. You know what? Y'all might be on there. I ain't playing. Mm-hmm. You know, to me, sports and entertainment, I want to sit across from fresh folks with perspectives that I haven't heard from, see what they feel. And, you know, you might want to get at me about something. There's plenty of times where, you know, I got donkey of the day or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's no big, it's all right, it's all love. But the thing about it is that, you know, you might be on there. Listen, you got a point of view. You might disagree with something that I had to say. You want to come on the show? That's what it is. It's like opening the floodgates to the world of sports and entertainment and beyond, and making sure that seat is open to anybody who might want to come on the show with a platform like that and might want to debate something.
When the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl this year, I'll come. When the Cowboys go to the Super Bowl in February,
I'm trying to tell you right now, I might not be there. That happens. I mean,
contract will be over by then.
I would be so sick to my stomach. I can't even put it.
You just had Jerry on there with Michael. It was very pleasant.
But first of all, I'm always going to be pleasant with Jerry Jones. I mean, because to me, he's hilarious, you know, in his own right, because he's delusional about what his Cowboys are and what they are going to be. And it's 25 years and counting. So I love that, and I don't mind them there. It's just that if he came on, if they went to the Super Bowl, I mean, do you have any idea what my life would be like if the Cowboys actually won? I mean, it would be.
Do you know what my life would be like?
It would be a nightmare.
It's going to happen.
Hold on. Let me ask you a theoretical, hypothetical question.
Sure.
Okay, we were talking about this earlier. There was a rumor, they said it's not true, that Jay-Z was going to invest in the Broncos. Now, we know he's a Cowboys fan. Now, let's just say you had the opportunity, right, to invest just out of nowhere in the Cowboys. Is that something that you would want to do? Because clearly, the number one, as far as how much that franchise is worth, that could be a great investment for you. You could be a part owner of the Cowboys.
Y'all ain't gonna believe this answer. I don't think I'd do it.
You a businessman, Stephen. You about your money.
I am. But you can't convince me that there's only one way to do it. Like, you can't convince me. I would go like this. And don't get me wrong, I'm not completely obliterating the idea, because, you know, I am a businessman. Wow. I am about making some money.
You really don't like them.
I'm just going like this. I mean, do you have any idea what it would take to convince me? In order for me to make money, it has to be with the Cowboys. I refuse to believe that. I refuse to believe that. I'm like this. There's got to be another way.
The most valuable franchise, you wouldn't take that opportunity?
I will tell you this. Here's my best answer for you. If you tell me from nothing to making money, I probably relent. If you said to me, well, you could make $2 billion with the Knicks, but $4 billion with the Cowboys, I'm going with the $2 billion.
Now, if you make no money with the Knicks,
I just finished saying that. That's what I just finished saying. Now, if you're going from nothing to making money, well, then that's the businessman comes in. But if you telling me I'm going to make money, it's just that I'd make more with the Cowboys, I would have to say I'm going to take a little bit less.
You could make $6 billion and invest in both.
Well, you could say that, but what I'm saying is the analogy.
I get it.
Oh
I get it.
gosh.
I would exhaust everything. Listen,
I'm not mad at you.
I get it.
I would take less. Don't get me wrong, I ain't going broke.
Right.
But I would take less. If I'm going to be rich no matter what, it's just that I'd be more rich with the Cowboys. I would be less rich.
You changed the whole scenario.
Now, what was your conversation with Max Kellerman? What was that conversation like when y'all decided not to do it? Was it one of those things like, homie, we not seeing eye to eye, you out? Or what was that conversation like?
Man, you know, listen, this is that kind of stuff. And listen, I'm so tired of talking about this because people have switched it and acted like there was something nice dude, man.
He's got his own show
He's
now.
loved within the walls of ESPN. You know Max Kellerman, one of the best dudes you'll ever meet, okay? And we know what he brings to the table, boxing, UFC, all of that other stuff. I was just saying to him, and I said it to him on numerous occasions, we as partners, to me, there's a limit. There's a ceiling there. And I want you to know straight up, that's how I feel. Said to him years ago. So when people talked about ESPN, and they said, well, you know, Stephen A., you did this, and ESPN. No, ESPN's the boss. You know what I'm saying? Trust me, they're my boss. Trust you me, if I was the boss, there's a whole bunch of things that have nothing to do with First Take and nothing to do with Max. Anything. There's a whole bunch of different decisions that I would make from time to time because as an employee, you always see that way. But in the end, you're an employee and you answer to them. And they didn't feel that a change was needed in the past. This time around, they felt that it was. I'm cool with that. He's cool with that. And I support him. His show's debuting. Anything he needs from me, I'm going to be there for him. You know, it's just that, again, for me, doing a show with somebody every single day, you just get to a point where it's like, all right, this is plateaued. And I said that to him. And I'm not saying he agreed, because he didn't agree. But he understood where I was coming from, and he understood that he was going to win and I was going to win no matter what, and we were good with it.
You've been the face of ESPN for a long time now. Definitely the face of First Take. Does it put more pressure on you now since you're even though you've always been the focal point, but now you're the sole focal point of First Take?
Listen, it's not because of First Take. It's because of that damn contract I signed. That's what it is. Everybody, I'm 53 years old, y'all, and everybody's ignoring the fact that I got the deal when I was 51.
Wow.
They forgetting from the time I was 24, and I put in that grind span in a quarter century to get to that point. All they want to look at. As a matter of fact, I got into a couple of arguments with my boys one time because they would call up and be like, you got a responsibility. And I'd be like, shut the hell up. I did the same damn job last week, the week before, the month before. Y'all weren't telling me that, but all of a sudden I'm getting paid. Now you want to come in my face and talking about what kind of responsibility I have? Kiss my ass, fall back. And that's what I said to my boys. Now I'm talking about cats I grew up with because it pissed me off. And it was like, wait a minute, the responsibility, I don't mind that. Just don't tell me that it changed because I signed a new contract. I had the same seat, doing the same damn job, the same damn days of the week for the previous 7 years at the time. And all of a sudden, because I signed this contract and you read in the papers that I'm making this paper, which I earned, by the way, all of a sudden there's a responsibility. Then I looked them in the face. I said, listen, this is a damn good deal. I'm making money, no doubt about it. But I looked the ESPN in the face and said, I deserve more. Because I feel I deserve more, because I pay attention to what I bring to the table in terms of ratings, ad sales, and all of that. I know what kind of money. I have an idea, not specifically, of course, but I have an idea of what amount of money I generate for the company. And so my mentality is I walk into work every day. Number one responsibility, how do I make us more money? Number two, how do I get some of it? That's my approach to business. The minute I walk in every single day, I'm unapologetic about it. It's not personal or anything like that. I am constantly trying to win, because winning is what's going to create other opportunities. If the Breakfast Club wasn't the Breakfast Club, the stuff that's happening for y'all wouldn't happen for y'all.
That's
but
right.
Y'all big time. And because y'all big time, y'all are able to create opportunities for yourself, and well-deserved. Congratulations to you on the Comedy Central deal as
Thank
well.
you, brother.
All I'm saying is that's my approach. So when you saw me hosting Jimmy Kimmel, I remember I told one reporter, he came up to me, I said, why don't you open your eyes and pay attention? I said, you think it's just First Take? You think that's all I'm after? I said, NBA. I've been doing that for years. You think that's all I'm after? Have you not been watching? Stephen A's World. Yeah, sure, I got this thing on ESPN Plus. Big deal. But why is it a big deal to me? Because it's my show. I'm the executive producer, and my production company co-produces it. Why was Jimmy Kimmel a big deal to me? Because I aspired to go late night. So I'm after stuff. This is the start for me. This ain't the finish line. So my vision and my mentality, and I'm unapologetic about it, I'm always going for it. And I got great relationships and whatever, but everybody knows I'm constantly trying to win, and I'm not going to stand still. And even when I started off with Skip Bayless wanted me to stick with First Take. He didn't want to do him and the former boss Jamie Horowitz and stuff. We don't, no Sports Center, no NBA, I said, whoa. I'm not your guy then, because that's not the only thing I want to do. You want to do that, nothing but love and respect for you. We can make that work. But understand, my visions are grander than that. and I'm going for a hell of a lot more. And if you want to pigeonhole and marginalize me to this show, I'm not your guy. And credit to them, they accepted it. They saw what I was doing and recognized how it could benefit First Take, and that's how we springboard. That's the way I've been all my career, and y'all, I ain't changing. I ain't changing.
And we here for what? Let's do the business. It's HBCU week, right?
HBCU week,
Okay.
no doubt about that. It's going to be October 1st and October 2nd. They're going to have in-person and virtual registration as well. Over the last 3 years, 2.5 years actually, we generated over 3,000 scholarships in excess of $12 million. Now they're doing it again this year. We've got an additional $7 million in commitments from sponsors as well. And so we expect big things to happen. When you register, you can obviously register live, and the corporations will have a hold of your application. You can go to hbcuweek.org, and if you continue to do that, chances are you got an opportunity to get scholarships. We all know how important education is, particularly for youngsters and specifically minorities looking for an opportunity, and the great opportunities that HBCUs offer. That's what I'm all about. Just reaching back and trying to do my part, just like everybody else is.
Mm-hmm. I watched you and Michael Irvin together, and I saw you purposely, I think, turning your volume down.
Yes.
because Michael is loud.
Right. Well, it's like, listen, you all know this, but you'll know this as it continues. Let's say, for example, we here in studio, right? Mm-hmm. And we're just rapping, and all of a sudden you get loud, and you get loud. Mm-hmm. If I get loud, nobody hears us. You see what I'm saying? You got to just know what you do television-wise. It's not just about what you want to do. It's about what the audience wants to see and what the audience wants to hear. So a lot of times, it depends on the guest. I'll be on with Michael Irvin, and there's segments where I dial it down, and then there are other times where I'll dial it up. With Keyshawn, I could dial it up a little bit more. With Marcus Spears, I could dial it down a little bit more because he gets a little demonstrative. With Tim Tebow, I'm mellow throughout. You see what I'm saying? It all depends on, because you have to have an eye for what the audience is looking for and how you as a show projects to that audience.
Is the intention to find a new co-host or to continue on with rotating?
To me, my mentality is that whatever the audience wants, they'll tell us. You know, because what people don't realize about television, we get ratings every segment. Mm-hmm. The next day, we get our ratings, like, it doesn't say for the 2 hours you did this. It says you did this from 10 to 10:15, from 10:15 to 10:30.
That's radio.
From 10:30 to 10:45, right? That's what it does in television. So you have to pay attention, because that's what's telling you what subject matters percolated and what didn't. You know, who the guest was at that particular moment in time, what interests them, what didn't interest them. They tell us how they feel every single day. And so what you do is you pay attention to that, and then you recognize what the patterns are. And that's how you go about doing the business that I do.
I like you and Big Perk together, man.
Yo, I love Perk. I'm very, very proud of Perk, man. He's a protege in the business. He's come to me and asked for my help, and I was like, you don't need much of it, because he's incredibly knowledgeable. People don't realize that. Kendrick Perkins is very, very smart. He knows basketball. He's very well connected as well, because he got a lot of friends in the NBA. I call him Big Perk, Uncle Perk. You know, he's from the country, from Texas, and he sound like one of your uncles from the South or whatever. But I love him. He's very knowledgeable, very demonstrative, and whatever. And again, he's very entertaining. But a lot of cats bring different things to the table, and I think that it's a mistake to look for the same thing from everybody. Perk got his little thing. Jay Williams got his thing. You know, even guys like Tim Legler, Jalen Rose, my man, they all got their thing, and they all bring it to the table. When you're trying to make good television, you look for what they bring, see how it pairs with you, and see how that will work for you.
Now, I know you got to leave in 10 minutes, so a couple of questions. Cam Newton, does he have a home in the league? Is that possible?
I think he's in trouble.
Why do you say that?
I went on TV yesterday, and I said, if the Washington football team does not call Cam Newton, I think his career is in jeopardy.
But he can still play.